Hello.
Testing. We're good.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Today, we're going to be talking about a topic that dives a level deeper. So, not everyone who is subscribed to this channel may be willing to go this deep into things, whatever. And it's kind of theoretical and kind of just something that I've kind of felt that I just feel like talking about because it's a mixture of the fact that the past can change, or at bare minimum, your perception of it can heavily change, mixed with just some very unexplained things that have happened throughout my life and just feelings that have come up recently that I just feel like talking about in this video. So this video was inspired by a comment I got in my last video by a user named Barb8190. They said, so I got a ride with a new friend in her black Tesla, and one day we met up and we rode in a white Tesla. I asked, where's her black one? She says she never had a black one. Then last week I met up with her and she had a black one. I believe I'm in two different dimensions. What do you think? So I read this and it brought up honestly a whole past catalog of things like this in my brain that have happened, and I'm sure have happened to everyone. Most of you are probably familiar with the Mandela Effect, where you remember something being one way, but it turns out it was actually another way. But what's really tricky about this is that there are times where, yes, it could be false memory. You remember something a certain way, it turns out different. Okay. But there are times where I feel like it's kind of a step above that, where you 100,000% remember something being an exact certain way, but for some reason it just ends up changing all of a sudden. Now, for me lately, I've actually noticed this to a very not as extreme as a degree as that comment mentioned. I'm gonna bring up an example that's kind of recent. So many of you guys who have been following this channel for a minute know that like my favorite album that got me through like a terrible breakup last year was the album Disgrace by Josh A. Now, when I first listened to this album, it actually wasn't really an instant 10 out of 10 for me. It wasn't instantly my favorite album. I actually picked out like a couple flaws that I kind of wish like changed with the album. But funny enough, now in this current point in my time, I actually think the album is 10 out of 10 perfect. I wouldn't change a damn thing about it. Now let me like explain like some small details about this. When I first heard the album, I thought this snare in this song Suicide Bends was too loud for some reason. And I actually just got back from a drive where I listened to that exact song in my car. And I thought the snare was actually like perfect volume. And like I swear the volume of the snare changed. Like the volume of the snare changed. I remember the volume of that snare being a lot louder. This is such like a production or nitpicky thing. I'm sorry if you're not into that kind of thing and I may be confusing you. But like the snare was a lot louder when I first heard it, and now I'm like it's fine. Another thing related to that is in that album, the song "Save Me." I remember when I first heard it, I wasn't really too big on the hook. I thought it was very oversung. It just like didn't fit crazy well. Now I think it sounds perfect. It fits in super well. So you can say, yeah, perception of it changes. What you think for that last song you did, but there are some things where it's like I swear I could have remembered that snare being like louder. Like I remember being like, oh, it's too loud. And this is really strange, but I feel like right now I'm entering a world, and this is gonna sound really strange, but feels like right now I'm entering a world where like I honestly feel like because my vibration has increased, because I have gotten better, because I've healed through a very traumatic year that happened last year. It's almost like the things that helped me through that are also like gaining a step up. They're becoming better. And that sounds super weird, but I truly feel like that's what's happening here. Because the album Disgrace by Josh A helped me through so much, and because I have gone to this place where I'm feeling better and I just feel like I'm on a steady incline, it feels like that album is too. Like flaws that I noticed with it are becoming cemented as actually like kind of being perfect, which is weird. Yes, it could be perception, or it could be maybe it actually changed. Truth is, I don't exactly know for sure, all right? It is very fun to think about, oh, did I shift into a new universe where this thing has now changed and it's now perfect? Honestly, that could very much be the case. I'm one to experience these things, but not think about it too much. So that could be the case. It may not be. Things as extreme as this comment mentioned, like, could have sworn you remembered it being a black Tesla, then it's white and it's back to black. Heavy changes like that. I experienced something in my life when I was really young that wasn't that exact scenario, but I'm about to explain here in a second. So this is really strange, okay? So what happened was, I think I was like 6 or 7, something like that. I'm not sure what age I was, but essentially what happened was I was about to go to sleep, all right? I was lying in bed. I blinked my eyes, I opened them, and it was morning. I'm 100% serious. That's not a joke. That's not me making anything up. This happened. I remember it when it happened, and it's a memory that has stuck throughout my entire life. There is a time, like, let me repeat this. This is not a joke. I blinked, and it was morning. The sun was up. This is like 8 p.m., and all of a sudden, it was 9 a.m. in the morning. This legitimately happened. This was not a dream. I remember feeling like it was because it was just so, like, what the heck just happened? But no, that was not a dream. Of course, I was completely sober. I was like 6, So I feel like these experiences that happen, honestly, I can't even explain them. But I feel like you are more prone to these experiences happening when you're kind of free. Your vibration is naturally high. Which, by the way, our vibration is naturally very high, right? It's not meant to be. I feel like just a lot of society nowadays, we have a lot of unprocessed trauma, so the general vibration of everyone is kind of lower. It's kind of down here when naturally it's supposed to be high, because what happens is traumas happen, and we don't really go through them fully. We don't really fully process them. So as we get older, we kind of stoop down in vibration unless we choose to really heal through those experiences, because our vibration is naturally very high. So for example, I was 6 years old. I'm about that age, I think, but my vibration was naturally high. I didn't have any traumas I was really going through. I was just a free kid, happy to be alive, and that happened. And funny enough, what's happened recently, and this is just a feeling I've gotten. So I fully kind of processed the breakup I went through, which was super traumatic last year, and that was and just all the weight, honestly, of 2023 and everything that happened last year, all the death and everything. I feel like I finally rose above that. I finally healed, but now it's actually gone to a point where that's done and over with. But I've found myself actually returning to traumas even before that, which is weird. Traumas I thought I had fully processed, but apparently, there's still more, that I didn't even realize until I fully healed through the trauma of 2023. Because lately, I've really been feeling the presence of my 2021 self. I was 17 when I was 2021, and that was another very, very dark time for me. Funny enough, but I felt a lot of connection to that lately because of the fact that I healed from a very dark time in 2023, and now that that's done over with, it's almost like, okay, what's next to heal? Well, there's a lot that happened in 2021 that I still feel like I need to come back to and finish healing. I've honestly felt the presence of my 17-year-old self, as in, I will drive past places and I will literally like feel the presence of 17-year-old Calvin there. And I almost feel like I'm driving by these places and kind of telling myself, like, subconsciously, like, you're gonna get through this moment. It almost feels like that if I could go back to 17-year-old me, I would be able to feel me now, 20-year-old me, telling him, hey, keep going. It's almost like a subconscious whisper. I can't really describe it. Like, even down to the music I've found myself playing lately. I found myself playing songs that I listened to when I was in that very dark period of time, mixed with music I listen to now and stuff. It almost feels like right now I'm in the process of sending kind of a subconscious message to my 17-year-old self to get through that moment and to make it through all the way until now. It's very strange, and I can't really describe it. It's just the feeling that I've gotten lately. So as far as the past being changed, I'm honestly not 1000% sure if things can like really physically change, but I am 100,000% sure that our perception of it can change to such an insane degree that it can maybe even feel like it literally like physically changed, right? You might notice when you're in a higher state of vibration, when it comes to looking back on old traumas, you might have a better perspective on it. You could see a truth about that thing that you didn't see it when you were in lower vibration, because maybe you were in a super low vibration, like shame, which in shame, you're really blinded on all angles. You can't really see yourself. You have this past experience that has weighed you down so much that it has become your personality. So it's hard to heal through any trauma when you're in shame. But if you're in a higher vibration, you can easily see the truth in that trauma. And not that it won't just be a piece of cake to heal through, but it will be a super useful tool when it comes to healing through those traumas, right? So in that case, yes, the past can change heavily as far as your perception goes. Yeah, this is a very interesting topic, because to me, at this current point in time, all I can say is that it is very unexplained, but tends to happen when we are in a higher vibration that feels like these past things kind of change. All right. So that's all I know about it. And all I can say about it is that I know for a fact that your perception of the past can kind of heavily change how you view it, and heavily kind of change how the world that surrounds you sees it. It's kind of weird, because it's almost like when you alter your perception of something, it's almost like the world around you also kind of views it in that way, or more of the world does maybe. So take the very, very basic example of attracting love, right? Someone could feel the energy of love and actually like not even be in a relationship, but because that energy is there, they eventually attract a relationship. You know, it kind of comes naturally to them. It's not that difficult, right? Or you'll notice, like, if someone's like single, they don't get hit on at all, but the moment they're in a relationship, they suddenly get hit on by everyone. It's a matter of what you feel, and you kind of naturally get surrounded by that. So therefore, it's kind of a similar thing, where if your perspective on the past changes, then other people may feel that change around you as well. So that's one thing to keep in mind. Yeah, I found this topic very interesting to talk about. It is something I honestly am still in the process of kind of being in the unknown about. You know, for a lot of it is still very unexplained to me. Some of these experiences that happen, like the past changing, just weird things, it's still very kind of unexplained to me even. You know, maybe in the future I can talk about it more clearly, you know, as I just gain more clarity as life goes on and have more life experiences and stuff. All I can say is that this can kind of be a message to anyone who feels like they're weighed down by a past experience, that, you know, it is all about perception at the end of the day. So I guess, you know, take that message with you from this video if you can. But yeah, as usual, let me know in the comments anything you'd like me to talk about, make a video about, and I'll gladly be happy to do it. Check it out. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.